Welcome everyone. How's it going? Happy Friday. Happy December the 17th. We got holiday season upon us. And by the way, let me know if my audio is coming in clear. I'm watching the chat here. And I've got my Christmas sweater on. Hold on. There we go. Got the lights on the Christmas sweater. Brought the good juju for the day. I know it's been it's been quite the month overall, right? But hopefully we can make some good juju here in the last hour of trading. We got power hour coming up. Alex, Luis, Great American, Gonzalo, Alex, Marco, Faisal, how's it going? John, audio is perfect. Thank you, Marco. Appreciate that. You need a Juju sweater. I do. You know what? I should have made. I'm not very good. I'm not very good, Mello, with like merch and stuff. But that's one of those things I want to sink more time into. But yeah, you're right. Like a Christmas Juju sweater, that would have been awesome. Do grapefruit count as Juju? Yes, Alex. Of course. I've got two Juju right here. Let's do it. Let's do it. So 9:45 sitting on Tesla as we start power hour here. It's been quite the week. You guys are telling me where you guys are tuning in from. Yeah, let's do that. If you're watching replay, if you're watching live, hello, let me know where you guys are tuning in from, city, state, country, whatever it is. Bring the good positivity. Luis says, holy, you look a lot thinner than I thought. Nice. Luis, I know you've been in the streams before. Are you saying I lost weight? Because I'll take that. Thank you. It's honestly, I'll tell you what it is. This sweater is probably 4 sizes too tight for my body, and that's probably doing me some service, quite honestly. Hello from Alo Paso, Benjamin. How's it going, Ben? Toronto, Baltimore, Salt Lake City, Raleigh, H-Town, Connecticut, Tampa. Go Bolts. Oh, Stefan. I'll take it, but hopefully you guys get better with all the COVID cases. Puerto Rico, Nova Scotia, it's the Juju diet. Yeah, honestly, let me peel a Juju here. Yo, Yash from Saskatchewan. There we go. Olympia, Humboldt County, California, Baltimore, Sydney. People tuning in from everywhere. I love it. I love it. Thanks for bringing the good positivity today into the stream, folks. We need it. 9:44 sitting on Tesla here. Faisal's from Florida, Stockholm, Sweden. Jan, how's it going? Michael, good day from Seattle. Don't go Kraken. San Diego. Wow, we got people tuning in from everywhere. So as we sit here, I've got the daily graph pulled up on Tesla as I see my chat flood in here. And really, the day's been, overall pretty positive, right? We're sitting at 945. High of day is $960. So we're $20 away from high of day. Now, I guess you could say positive for the day is our gap has filled on that gap. That 944 to 910 gap that we've talked about has now officially filled from back in end of October. And I tweeted this out earlier today. Let me try to pull up my tweets here. Hold on. Let me just take my first hit of oranges as we move forward in the stream here. Remember, vitamin C cures a lot, apparently. Okay. As I tweeted here today this morning, and I said, something about dark pools. Something interesting to note. Tesla has had its first net positive dark pool day since yesterday, since the Elon tweet in November. The trend seems to be continuing today as well. And as I pull up tradie ticks here, actually today has gone negative, but let's see how the day ends up closing. You'll see yesterday we've had our first positive green dark pool day pretty much since Elon had tweeted about the poll. Since Elon tweeted on the poll on the Saturday, I think from that Monday onwards, there'd been net selling in the dark pools happening. And essentially, if you don't know much about this, it's just a gauge to see how institutions are trading Tesla. Are they dumping out of Tesla, dumping out of their positions, selling below what the last price is? Are they essentially liquidating in, is what we saw for the month or a couple of weeks, actually. So I have to go back and look at the screenshots, but we saw net buying happening before our big rally up. So it was good to see our first green positive dark pool sentiment day yesterday. Today, as we sit here, this is unsettled, remember, because we still got an hour left here. Remember, today's quadruple witching. I've titled the stream such. Quadruple witching is when 4 sets of options and futures expire. Lots of chop, lots of volume on market on close today. Pretty much at the bell. We'll see whether or not we have a closing cross of a net buy or a net sell, and we'll find out how much more shares get traded on market close today. So this is still up in the air. We shall see. Our options order flow is looking decent. At least we're in the positive for algo flow. but we do have some sort of a downward divergence to go potentially. So keep an eye on that. 943 is where we sit on Tesla here. Let me just pull up my one sec chat here. Vern, how's it going? What trading software are you using? This is Webull. Link in the description if you so feel inclined to. But if you're talking about the options in the dark pool, that is Traditix. Link for that is in the description. I don't know what my deal is with them. I think as an affiliate, I think you get 1 week. You get to try it for 1 week for like $7 or something, I think is what it is. So try it out, see if you like it. But let's pull up the 1 minute trading on Tesla on Webull here, and let's keep that up, shall we? So T-Mac, how's it going? Got all the hold on one second. All right, got the lights back on. Keep the lights on in the Christmas sweater. I got a Christmas dinner tonight to attend. I don't want to kill my entire battery for the sweater, but I think it's needed right now. Actually, I don't even think you can see the lights. Oh, you can see the lights a little bit on camera on Rudolph, but not much. I'm gonna turn it off. All right, actually, hold on one second. One sec. Nice haircut, Yash. Thank you, Andy. Appreciate it. Hold on. There we go. Oh, that's pretty lame. All you see is Rudolph's one little light. I assure you, there's a bunch of lights here. Anyways, whatever. Let's just move forward with our lives. Nice sweater. Merry Christmas. Thank you, Freddie. Appreciate it. Thank you, Ryan. Ryan says hit the like. I appreciate it. All of you guys hitting the likes. Let's see how many likes we're sitting at. I know you guys like it when I count the likes out. We're at 75 likes. Let's try to get to 300. We have almost 500 people at the moment watching. So let's try to get up to, let's say, 300. I know a lot of you guys just watch on mobile and audio only. And for those folks, Tesla's sitting at $944. There we go. 997 likes. Over 100. There we go. 119. There we go. Mike, that's how I get demonetized, right? Start taking this off. Where is Castamere says, I think people will pile into Tesla stocks on Elon's final 2 days of selling. Here's the thing, and I was thinking about that yesterday, and we won't know, right, when Elon is done selling per se. We know he has about 4 more-ish days left of his 10b5-1 plan if he chooses to. First of all, we don't know for a fact or not whether or not his 10b5-1 plan has already ended on any given day. There's no way we can know that. There's a possibility, there's a non-zero chance that his 10b5-1 plan continues until the end of this year. And given the math of him only selling 934,000 shares-ish every time, that puts us to about 3 or 4 ish days of him continually selling. Let's say past today, if he sold today, who knows? We don't know. A couple of things to take in consideration. Today was the start of the employee blackout window in Tesla, meaning any insider cannot trade, to my knowledge, any Tesla shares from now until I think 5 days after the earnings call, or I think after the earnings report comes out. So that does not, though, affect 10b5-1 plans that have already been scheduled. And in Elon's case, that's mid-September. So if that doesn't affect any plans that have been put in the past, again, there's a non-zero chance that Elon just finishes selling this fiscal year. Again, it makes sense that he would sell this year, given that the tax rates are going to go high, or going to go marginally higher, probably next year at some point. So selling this year is in his best financial interest, at least this year. We don't have any insight as to when or if this is true, if that's going to happen. Elon hasn't sold any discretionary shares since, I think, someone want to verify for me. I think it's been over a month now, right? Like November 12th. So there's that. Daryl, how's it going? Digital, Merry Christmas to you too. Brian says you would like to think he'd hold on to the same rules as his employees, respect the blackout, but who knows? He has to. It's not a choice. But also remember that 10b5-1 plans that had been put in place prior to can be executed during blackout windows. So there's that. But going back to the positivity for a second, if and when Elon does finish selling, and that headline does come out that Elon has effectively finished selling, I'm not sure if, I had a theory out, and I'll pull up my Twitter on it. Less of a theory, more of a, something to watch for. Let's see, pull this up here. There we go. I said, this is yesterday. Tesla down 3.5%, close to 10 million shares traded in the first hour and a half of trading. feels like Elon is selling. He indeed did sell yesterday. So I said quadruple witching tomorrow may present Elon the liquidity to sell the remainder on market on close should he choose to. Remember, he has about 4-ish, 5-ish million, right, to sell in terms of his share count. And so what's good about quadruple witching in the sense of Elon selling his shares is that it provides liquidity. If you remember, if you go back to December of last year, I cannot believe, by the way, it's been a year. I want to say it's been a year this week that this channel has actually officially hit 1 years old. So, side note there, appreciate. I see a lot of familiar faces in the chat that have been around for this whole year. So, much love to you. Side note there. But if you go back to a year today, this week, even S&P inclusion, right? That happened during this week ish. And if you remember, the reason why the S&P funds chose quadruple witching was because it presents the most liquidity for them to buy into, Tesla, right? Huge volume comes in on market on close for quadruple witching at the closing cross, right? So that's something there, something to consider. Because if Elon has some shares, and I guess this is the issues, I wouldn't know because if it is discretionary, then there's no way he can sell. But in a 10b5-1 plan, could there be a possibility that there's, you can pre-program into the plan? And again, I don't know anything about 10b5-1 plans, never done them. But if someone knows, let me know in the comments. Could you just say the remainder of the shares be dumped on market on close with market on close orders? I guess that's probably feasible. Michael says it was insane how much volume occurred last year. Yes, indeed it was. If you go back, let's do some revisionist history, shall we? If we go to December of 2020, okay, which by the way is over a year ago, and that's just nuts. It's not hard to look at where S&P inclusion hit. Okay, I'll pull up the dates here. You see that one huge volume bar? Well, this was actually December 18th, 2020. This is the date of S&P inclusion. It was the first ever live stream on this channel. Fun fact. It's when the Juju Gang was born. Take a slice to that. We had 210 million shares traded on that day. 210 million shares traded on that day. Huge, right? So huge amount of shares. And I forget how many shares were traded a minute before closing. I want to say it was like 60 or 70, 80 million, but a huge amount of volume was right on the closing cross, right? The majority of the volume on that day came in at the closing cross. And today we're sitting at volume, what is it? 21.72. There, yeah, digital just said it. So, something to watch for is, do we get a huge closing cross again today with potentially Elon selling the remainder of his shares? Here's also the things. I thought blackout windows opened. I thought they opened 2 weeks prior to delivery, or 2 weeks prior to quarter end, which would be after hours today. That's what I would think. But obviously, some sort of insider must have confirmed or denied that. Jan, thank you so much. 50 Swedish krone. A little anniversary gift for the channel. Jan, I appreciate you. You've been an OG to the channel for a long time. I appreciate that. Hope everything is well with you. Victoria says, so much pain this week. At least Elon is done selling for a month. Remember, Victoria, we just said this, but, debatable. His 10b5-1 plan can continue as long as he doesn't, let's say, need to program something Q1. So, Tranth, how's it going? Hopefully, hold on one second. Let me just see here. There we go. Should pop up. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I mean, $943 sitting on Tesla. We're at that price range again where institutions are thinking, hey, Berlin can be coming online any minute now. Less maybe. Austin can be coming online any minute now. Berlin, I guess it's just been dragging their heels for so long with all the red tape that's happening there. I saw a comment here on YouTube. About, and I saw it in our Discord as well. Let's see here. on our Discord. Let's see here. We had some. By the way, if you want to get access into our Juju Gang Discord community, caveat being only bring good juju in there. Um, you can do so with the Patreon link pinned in the comment. Let's see here. Joe Tegmeyer. Joe Tegmeyer, where was it? I'm gonna find this tweet now. Let me try to find it. I think someone tagged me on Twitter on it too. But there's 4680 battery cell production photos coming out a little bit from Austin. Let's see. Here it is. Just change the look. Actually, this is from Alex at AJ Tourville. Tesla 4680 production at Giga Texas, seeing 4 identical stations in the photo by Joe. Each station performs a few processes, some of which involve the use of lasers. My guess: 1, electrode flagging patterning; 2, jelly roll winding. This is the process that I think they were having some difficulty with to scale. Current collector welding, number 3. So these are the photos that are coming out of Austin. This is, in my opinion, really what investors are holding out for, let's say institutional wise, to come out and say, okay, number 1, when are these plants coming online? And obviously there's been delays in that. Number 2, on top of that, how is the 4680 battery cell viability? There's no doubt the science is there. Now, investors just have to believe in Tesla's execution. As Tesla bulls, we believe in Tesla's execution more than the average, let's say, institutional investor might, or non-Tesla bull might. But I think this is what they're kind of waiting for, is to see, okay, obviously Tesla, the rate of construction speed is massive. They're doing great with how fast they can build these factories, getting them online, getting them through that red tape, different story. Now it's a matter of, okay, Shanghai executed so well. Look at Shanghai and how well it's executed, just like almost perfect with how fast they've scaled up at Gingo Shanghai. Now it's just a matter of when these factories come online, and they come online and they start producing 4680 battery cells, and hopefully we start seeing some deliveries very soon here. That's the next step change, in my opinion, that is coming. Let me pull up 1 minute. Victoria, welcome to the Juju Gang Patreon. Appreciate you pledging. Welcome. Should pop up too. I do have the integration pulled in, so should pop up here. But if it doesn't, welcome. Catch you in there. Lots of good conversations happening in our Discord at the moment about hedging, liquidity. Missed it. So $941.82 sitting on Tesla at the moment. Ramin says, I hope he finishes selling and stocks bounce to 1,400 in a month. Okay, he will obviously have to stop selling at some point. Maybe not in perpetuity indefinitely, but there'll come a point here in probably the near future. 1,400 in a month. That's about $500 away. Here's the thing: if you look at macro is off of its highs, but not massively so. If you look at the Qs, look at the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq hasn't retreated to even, let's say, the 100 moving average, or God forbid, the 150-day moving average at 368. So this is kind of the issue: is that we might see some decoupling, but 1,400 by the end of the month might be a little bit rich. Now, that being said, the floats, we have filled this gap on the downside. If Elon is essentially selling shares, exercising at the same time, ending up with net more shares at the end of the day, there is a conversation to be had potentially about, once these factories do go online, how little of effective float there might actually be left once this is all said and done. And, 1,400 by the end of this year, a couple of weeks, I would not bet on that. January is kind of the one that I'm looking at. And actually February, if you go back to Tesla Economist, the interview that I did with Lee, great interview, a lot of great insights. He was saying February is what he's looking at. And the reason why he said February is because, number 1, delivery numbers are baked in from the 2nd or 3rd of January in those, duh. But then also Q1 earnings report. Now, Q1 earning report will be pretty big. Last year, we saw Q1's earning report come a little bit lower than expectations, and I think that was partly to do, along with yields rising in the spring of this year, having to do with kind of the weakness in the stock. But this is going to be a big year. I mean, Giga Berlin, Giga Austin, hopefully, cross my fingers, are online by that time, by the earnings call. So, hold on, drop the juju. All right, gonna cut another slice here. There we go. Let's see here. See. The Tesla, hers says, China new factory progress is legendary. Absolutely. Shanghai is killing it, right? Like China, in terms of the speed of manufacturing, how fast they're able to scale production, um, just, bar none, nothing comes close, in my opinion. So Spencer says, no, not jelly rolling winding issues. It was dry powder rolling onto film. Gotcha. Thanks for the clarification. Let's see here. Mr. Durzel, Yash, have you seen the tweet? The dark pools are net buyers since the last 2 days. Comment on that. That was my tweet. Yeah, I tweeted that out. I did go over that tweet maybe like 12 minutes ago on this stream if you want to rewind. David, Yash, can you explain? David, how's it going, by the way? Yash, can you explain why gaps need to be filled and why it gets satisfied when it's filled? I had a comment like this on the YouTube video. And essentially, so when it comes to technical theory, I think a lot gets said about a little bit. At the end of the day, what really matters in technicals at a root fundamental, you want to call it first principles perspective, is the price of which something is sold, the quantity of which something is sold. If you want to take a derivative of that, you could find what are the bids, what are the asks, right? What orders are sitting there, right? And that's kind of, I look at it as almost a derivative of that, right? But if you look at the ticker tape, and you have something like a gap, right? When you wake up one morning, pre-market, something's running, and then we jump from 9:10 on a Friday, and then Monday morning we opened up at 9:50. You know, I almost look at this as a void between where a huge amount of buyers came in, not enough sellers came in, especially pre-market, right? Pre-market limits a lot of this in terms of, if you want to call it, equilibrium. During market hours, the theory is kind of perfect market theory. During market hours, prices are at equilibrium. They're perfectly priced. You don't have to take that to the bank if you don't want to. I know there's people that debate that all the time. But when you have gaps, the theory behind gap filling is that essentially there is an imbalance here of buyers that came in pre-market, bumped this thing up. And so when you have a disproportionate amount of buyers that come in, prices go up, you could argue that there are sellers sitting out there that would be happy to take profits and fill back that gap on the down low. Because remember, those sellers didn't have an opportunity, let's say, to sell during that rip up. And so filling the gap for technical traders is an opportunity to now put that past us of, hey, there are net sellers sitting out there that were still positive from that price point onwards. And now we've filled back down, meaning during market hours, now we've traded back down as low as 9:10 this morning. And now if those sellers wanted to get drained, great. They could have made some sort of profit or had even come out at break even if they wanted to. So that's kind of the theory. And when you trade, that's, and not all gaps have to be filled, right? We talk about Google, there's some gaps. And I think Dave Lee mentioned Google during our live stream last month. There's runaway gaps that never get filled back again because some stocks are so strong fundamentally, right? So that's the theory. You don't have to believe it. You don't have to think it's the Bible for everything. It won't be. But at a technical speaking level, bulls like gaps being filled if it's close enough, because you might as well drain out those sellers now. You're so close, and then we can potentially run forward afterwards. That's kind of the theory. Alex, very small. Yash, you eating juju from the floor. I didn't eat that one. It's sitting over here. I thought someone was gonna think that. Um, Steve, how's it going? Welcome. Zero Saskatchewan. Are Elon's options dilutive? Good question. I do not think so. I think they're effectively not, and someone can correct me on this, because I think they're already counted in the outstanding share count. Yes, I think they are, but they might effectively be diluted because those shares haven't really hit the open market before. But I think they're already counted in that one or so billion out there. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate that. How's VIX? VIX is sitting at $21. VIX is not looking amazing. Like this morning, I think we hit 20. What did we hit this morning? Yeah, this morning we hit $23 on the VIX. Wasn't great to see that. We've come back down, mind you, not massively. Would like to see VIX come under 20 again, but beggars can't be choosers at a certain level. But there is uncertainty in the market, right? With the new variant, with closures happening, like here in Canada, Ontario, the whole province has said there's no more arena capacity, like no more fans allowed. In Quebec, same thing. In BC now, they just announced 50% capacity. So there's like this uncertainty now with around this variant, and preliminary data though is showing that this variant is not as deadly or lethal in terms of putting yourself into hospitalizations from case numbers, and I just really hope that that continues to be the case. So I guess we'll find out. His floor is clean. Let's see here. It's a nothing burger, exactly. Uh, Hans is saying, "Yeah, watch Tesla news. German guy about Giga Berlin and water lawsuit. It's not that big of a deal." I have to catch up on that. I know there's like it seems like almost every day there's a new story explaining two sides again with Berlin. With I'm not sure if you guys feel the same way, and maybe this is just me, talking frustrated. I've gotten very tired with the Berlin narrative, with the everyday keeping up with what now, I'm just trying to keep my eyes closed a little bit to that and just hoping for the news that it opens soon enough. I'm not trying to keep up with the day to day as much as I kind of used to. It's been getting tiring. Holiday seasons are here, so I'm trying to read less of this of stuff every now and then. So, so I'm just hoping it's going to be like Digital says, a nothing burger eventually in the next couple weeks here, and it just opens. So, I guess we'll find out. Uh, David says, awesome. Thanks for the detailed answer. You got it, David. Absolutely. Uh, John says, hey, you see what Dave said about how he thinks Elon is selling to the new year? He doesn't allow employees to sell stock during certain windows. That's a Tesla wide policy. And yes, Dave did tweet that. I think I retweeted that as well. Let's see here. Thanks for retweeting, folks. Appreciate it. I think I retweeted. Here it is. Dave said, just make sure everything gets pulled up here. Dave said, here's what Elon's final 3 days of exercising could look like. He's estimated this, and this is totally his guess, the 21st, the 23rd, and the 30th. And grand total, I think that's about 5.5 million shares exercised and about 3 million shares more sold to fund. And that gets us to the completed amount. So we shall see. Gary Black has also said bringing his 6 week total to 12.9 million shares and his exercise option total to 17.1. So that's interesting, right? Elon to date has sold 13 million, give or take, shares and has bought, exercised, meaning owns now, 17.1 million shares. So there's net new buying here, right? Gary goes on to say Elon's haphazard process of selling shares, 2% of float, has caused Tesla to fall 24%, minus 3% of NASDAQ. I don't think the entirety of the 24% is attributable to this. Maybe a good amount of it. I think Berlin being delayed, I think the EV credits not being passed has brought downward pressure onto Tesla as well, in my opinion. So I'd like to see Tesla again. I said this. What was this last Friday? At this point, I said we want to see Tesla not close below 1,000, and I think last week it didn't. I pull up the weekly candle. I think last week on the live stream, yeah, we finished at 1,022. Yes, and then we opened Monday of this week. We opened. Where does this right here? Yeah, we opened right at 1,000 essentially, and then we closed below the 1,000 at 971 on the Monday. So since then, it's been it's a little, yeah, not been great. Andrew says we're not bullish on, so we're not bullish on Tesla. No, Tesla is a long term. It's a long term conviction play, right? We obviously trade. At least I'm speaking for myself. I know a lot of the Juju gang as well trade Tesla every now and then, buy leaps, buy shorter term options positions. But at the end of the day, I'm really focused on the long term. Tesla is coming out with two new age factories. Margins are already through the roof. We talk about how margins might be once these factories are online. Demand is not going anywhere. That's one thing. EV rebate or not, demand is not going anywhere. 935, by the way, is sitting on Tesla right now. I'm gonna have to pump some more juju. Jeff says agreed. Poor macro environment has caused a lot of the drop too. Yeah, with the FOMC talking about tapering, not Nasdaq's been off highs, so I think a lot of it, you can attribute all of the minus 24% in my opinion to Elon selling. But Elon selling, where that really hurts is when you have a strong day in the markets and where Tesla would have gone up 4%. Because the 10b5-1 plan is being executed, Tesla, let's say, only goes up 1%, 2%. So that's where you really give up those incremental gains, right? S&P overextension is my only big concern, fundamentally related. Well, that's a fair concern to have. The S&P, this is the daily graph for the S&P, right? To the up and to the right, essentially. Now, the really positive thing with the S&P 500 is how diversified it really is. You know, even in the spring of this year when we were seeing massive amounts of rotation, the S&P 500 really was still strong throughout the time. Yes, it corrected and it had several deep corrections, but because of how diversified I think the S&P 500 is, we saw strength come back way faster than the Nasdaq this spring. It took a while for the Nasdaq to get back up. Everything's been an all-time high since then, of course, but something to keep in consideration there is how well diversified it is. VIX coming down a little bit, but not after making new highs on the shorter term here. 2130 new high, under 21 again here. 933 sitting on Tesla. So let's see how the close shapes up. I got CNBC pulled up here as well. 933, 932.70 sitting on Tesla. Got CNBC pulled up here, but I don't see anything massive here. So we shall see. Uh, let's see here. There we go. Market selling off due to kill options for quadruple witching. You know what? That reminds me, I gotta check my portfolio. Michael, thank you for the $50 super chat. Thank you, my friend. Massive. Thanks, Yashu, and happy holidays to the Juju gang. I'll appreciate that, my friend. Thank you. Go Kraken. I don't know. Okay. I was asked about implied volatility on Tesla. Something to take a note of here. Implied volatility on Tesla has come down, right? On a 26-week basis, implied volatility rank is at 59. 13-week, the same. At a 52-week level, a yearly basis, implied volatility is at a 44. So if you're talking about leaps for a second, if you're talking about January options, February options, that's another potential reason why you might have seen a lot of your out of the monies, at least speaking from experience, have gone down as well. Let's see here. Vasil says, "Why didn't we all sell Tesla at 1,200, rebuy at 900?" Hindsight's always 2020, my friend. Yeah, it's always easy to say, and I guess tax has a big reason to do with that. But the bigger reason is, who's to know if it wouldn't have gone from 12 to 13 the same way it went from 11 to 12 within a day, right? I'm gonna take a look at options here. The options order flow. What is it telling us? So at the moment, Trading is showing our algo flow to be matching essentially stock price. It's actually looking like it's actually a little bit higher than the current stock price right now, but nothing massive. We'll keep an eye on that. We pull up the live options order flow here on Trading. Let's see here. And let's pull up. I just want to see what has come in over $1 million worth of premium today. So we saw a couple minutes ago, we saw some put selling happening for this week, $1.2 million worth, $1.12 million worth of puts sold at 1050. So in the money put sold. Okay, interesting. Some put spot, this might be a spread actually, more of a calendar spread for next week. Interesting. So they're funding it. Interesting. Okay, something to watch for there. A lot of puts, mostly split. Earlier on in the day, we had a lot of puts at the ask. Not a lot of call sweeps coming in, folks. So not a lot of call sweeps coming in for next week. I mean, we had one for 1.4 million, but that was earlier on in the day. That was what time was this? 11:55. So 5 minutes before we went live here on the stream. $1.4 million with the call sweeps for 1250 strike, but for March, right? So nothing immediately coming up here. Phil LeBeau's on CNBC, but he's talking about Boeing, so don't really care to be honest. But I'll leave this up here, Tesla related, and we'll keep an eye on what's happening. 933 sitting on Tesla here. Puts as hedge bullish. Well, generally when you have puts on the bid, those are delta positive, right? So those are sold puts. But it's impossible to know whether or not it's a hedge or not, right? So don't know about that, Silent. Victoria says, I'm sure we'll see a lot of end of day sell orders from non-active traders, 401k adjustments, stockbroker customers, etc. In the next half an hour, or yeah, give or take half an hour, next 20 minutes mostly, we'll see a lot of volume kick in, a lot of chop. That's really what quadruple witching is known for, is the amount of chop that we might see. What's interesting is the volume weighted average price for the day is at 938. So we're still $5 lower than that. So let's see if we don't just finish at volume at VWAP for the day. The closing cross will be telling as well. I'm sure someone will tweet out what the closing cross is with the NASDAQ book. Apparently I get that with interactive brokers. I saw my statement and I think I saw closing cross was a part of the add-on data features that I was paying for originally. I just didn't know how to access what, how to get that was. I don't know. Next week, Andrew says next week's green market wants all-time highs. I saw this comment, and then I also saw a comment earlier on saying big money doesn't want to buy. I think it was from Harry saying big money doesn't want to buy prior to the weekend with COVID cases rising and all that. I'm generally more bullish on next week maybe than I should be. This week was a doozy, right? This is a weekly candle for Tesla. And yeah, I mean, you could argue at a fundamental level, like we probably will test demand here at the 21 week at, 871. But again, exogenous effects play into the case here. If this was a regular, let's say June, and there was no news imminent on Tesla, I think that theory would hold more water. And yes, macro is going to take a portion of the blame or the benefit here. But when you have Tesla right now, I just feel like exogenously speaking, there's a lot going on that potentially can come out at any day now. Elon sells, Elon doesn't sell, Elon sells more, Berlin gets delayed, Berlin goes online, Austin, same thing. There's a lot of variables here that just make it to navigate these waters a lot trickier. And I'll ask you as a question, folks, in 5 minutes, by the way, at 12:45, I will ask you for your closing price guesses, not now, in 5 minutes, but I'll ask you right now, do you think Austin or Berlin go online first? Which one do you think comes online first? Let me know in the chat. I won't necessarily tell you what my guess is yet. Mr. Drizzle, on your app, you can select imbalance in your chart. Really? Imbalances the volume at open. It's displayed. You're the best. Thanks, man. I'm gonna have to. Can I do that on my mobile app? I don't have Trader Workstation on my Windows opened right now. I don't want to crash my computer. I wonder if I can do that here. Thank you. You guys are saying Austin for sure. Austin. Okay. Everyone's pretty much saying Austin. Marco's the lone wolf saying, oh no, Mimi too. Mimi saying Berlin. There we go. Berlin, Austin, easy. I was gonna come in with a hot take and say Berlin. Someone said Quebec. I was gonna come with the hot take and say Berlin. And I know, look, it's looking like Austin. It's definitely trending that way. Everyone's saying Austin. Okay, next follow-up question to that. When Austin or when Berlin, when your guest comes online, how much or if any do you think Tesla rallies from that news of the factory going online? Let me know what the general consensus is here. So let's say, you guessed Berlin and Berlin goes online, let's say this weekend. Do you think Tesla rallies, goes down, goes up, and by what percent is your guess if that happens? I'm trying to get a lay of the land of what people think here. That's why I love this community. I love the Juju gang because you guys, the ability for us to interact, share our thoughts, mind melt in a degree where we can come together. And I'm speaking for myself, family and friends are really sick of me talking about Tesla. I think, that goes without saying. So I'm happy. I'm grateful in the holiday season, more or less, then, to be able to mind melt with you folks. Okay. So you guys are saying 80% intraday, says Victoria. Oh, I'll take that. 2 or 3%, 5%. 1500 easy. Wow. 4% goes up by 10, 5. So it seems like Matt Marks is 5. Jacob, how's it going? 10% for Austin, 5% rally. So the kind of going guess is between 2 and 10 for the most part. There's a couple of $1,500 guesses in here, and I hope you're right. But it sounds like, and actually, Kranz was saying no rally or small rally, up by 12. The market always does the opposite of what we think it'll do. So, there's a degree of expectation around that. My guess is around 5+%. It just depends on macro as well, I guess. But, I think factories opening are pretty bullish. The question is, okay, factories open, great. Does the market say, okay, well, now we're going to scale in slowly as, up until deliveries start coming out? And maybe the real catalyst is, Tesla starts delivering from said factory. Maybe that's the huge catalyst. Dura says Berlin would be 15%, 15 plus. I agree. I think Berlin holds a lot of weight in Tesla uh, because I think the auto market is really looking towards Berlin. Austin is a new age thing, right? Like it's massive. It's huge. Berlin is where the old school, Germany is where the old school auto investors look at. I'm gonna have to try to pull up the imbalance here. Hold on one second. I'm gonna have to go back to Mr. Drizzle's comments. Forget. So it's an indicator, apparently, is it? Let's see here. I'm gonna have to. Can you comment again and let me know what it was? Let's see here. Oh, it might be. Yeah, might not be on the app. Austin is huge. Yeah, absolutely. 934 sitting on Tesla for all my audio friends listening. The options order flow is about normal. We're sitting at. Let me move my fat head to the top left. We're sitting essentially where the stock price is in terms of options order flow at the moment. I pull up the highest time interval we get, which is about 30 minutes here. I think that's what we're on right now. This is essentially okay. There we go. Slightly negative on the 30-minute candle chart. So I'm going to keep an eye on the 1 minute shorter term time frame. At least algo flows are positive. 936 sitting on Tesla at the moment. Mark says only 250 likes. How many likes are we sitting at? Let me see. Let me update here. You're right. 250 likes. We got 700 people watching. If you're watching, you're liking the channel, hit subscribe, hit like. Doesn't cost you anything. Join the Juju gang. Juju is any sort of said citrus. Some say sit try. I say just eat it. Vitamin C is good for you. I had a comment actually. Who was it last week? Someone said I should calculate how many what is it? Vitamin C is measured in no, hold on. Not IBU. I think that's a beer. IU. There we go. How much IU collectively the Juju gang has upped? Senator Fat Pie, welcome to the retailer YouTube membership. Appreciate you, my friend. IU, thank you. It's got to be in the hundreds of thousands. Dare I say millions? I don't know. It's not hard to get 1,000 IU. Senator, you got the Elon logo. There you go. Maybe so. I received a box of lemons and grapefruit today, ready for next week. I'm gonna pull up my. Should I bring up my box? My mom got me a box of these oranges. I don't even know what kind of oranges they're called, but they have like. Listen, I'm from Canada, so stuff like this is exotic. They have like the orange leaves on them. They have like the little bit of the stem. It's perfect. It's like where did you get this from? Like this is some tropical shit. Like, we live in Canada. This is not within 1,000 kilometers of here. Thank you, Sandra. Appreciate the love. Thank you, my friend. Which ramps faster in 2022, Berlin or Austin? Austin. I'm going to say Austin. But here's the thing. Berlin is ahead of the schedule comparatively. Between the two, you could argue internally what we don't get a lot of insight on. Berlin was supposed to go online. What was it, May or June of this year? So who knows how far advanced everything is on the inside. I think there was some leaks and photos, but we don't necessarily know. But I guess I would say Berlin. Question is, when does it go online, right? Jeff says, "Yeah, I need an indoor farm." I got one of those those air gardens. Have you guys seen those? I got some lettuce growing. Okay, I went to the grocery store a couple weeks ago. You would not guess inflation is a B word. You would not guess what a head of romaine lettuce was selling for at this store. 4.99. 4.99. It's I had to double check. I had to say, "What?" This is probably the crappiest, no offense to romaine lettuce. It's one of the lower rungs of lettuce in the world. Icebergs down there as well. It was like, "What? 4.99?" Ah, man, I was like, "What is happening?" So we already had an air garden, so I bought those little pods for the lettuces. Those are like $2 a head in terms of what was coming out per pod. There's no winning with this inflation thing. 934.51 sitting on Tesla. That's why Subway footlongs were so expensive this summer. You guys know my Subway footlong? My Subway footlong. Um, yeah, honestly, do microgreens instead of lettuce. That's a great idea. I do need to, as a vegetarian, I do need to get into microgreens. Dave in Vegas, welcome to the Retailer Club, my friend. Thank you. Remember, any YouTube membership over $5, so that's the investor level and up, I believe, gets you Discord access. So if you're already a member there on the $5 or more per month level, and any level on Patreon, because $5 per month is the minimum there. First of all, thank you, and thank you to all the patrons and YouTube members. But connect your Discord to or connect your YouTube account to your Discord if you're a YouTube member, or your Patreon to your Discord account, and then you'll be able to see our server in there. Lots of good times with lots of good, amazing people. Lots of people I see in here from the Juju Gang community. Corey says, "Don't eat Subway, dude. That's trash." I know, it was a desperate time. It was a desperate time. I had this story in the summer during, we kept talking about how I was streaming earlier on in the summer where it was like lunchtime in the East Coast, and I was saying it was Subway lunch hour for the Wall Street toots, right? Everyone's going for the Subway footlongs. And so, like, when you talk about something for a couple of days, it just like kind of got subconsciously implanted in my head. 933.55 sitting on Tesla, by the way, folks. And I saw a Subway. I was hungry. I was in between meetings actually on the road. And I was like, you know what? Let's just do it. I went in, I bought a veggie footlong. Didn't have egg, they didn't have falafel, all sold out, supply chain issues. I paid like $11 and something cents, I forget, for the Subway footlong in the summer. It was nuts. Tesla hype, solid sweater. I appreciate that, my friend. I got these lights aren't working. Trust me, they're LED. They're pretty dope. Investing in Tesla is the only way to achieve escape velocity from inflation, says Lou. You got it. Rob says, "Yeah, I read a while back that Berlin is ready to go same day they get approval." Yeah, I think Elon said Berlin is ready to start making a car within an hour after they get approval. So yeah, they're just sitting there waiting, folks. They're just sitting there waiting. Let's see, $11. That's crazy, dude. Return it. I was pretty shocked. I mean, for the most part, I got a pretty bad habit. I'm not sure if you guys do this as well. I don't really look at when I'm like tapping my credit card. It's just like you tap, you move on. But for this time, for some reason, I caught the price and I was like 11.50. I was like, what? What did I buy? Did I get a bag of chips and a Subway Diet Coke or something with it? Just a sub. Jesse's posted our closing imbalance for us. Thank you, Jesse. 177,000 lots, closing paired with 3.8. And I'm guessing that's buy side imbalance, right? Okay, so 935.29 sitting on Tesla here, folks. Options order flow is looking status quo for the time being. Nothing massive coming in terms of options order flow. Remember, we're going to see some rolling happening here in the next 10 minutes. I do want to see our dark pool sentiment turn green again for the day, but we are sitting 23 million negative for the day so far. So let's see how that closes. We'll find out. Yes, your closing price guesses. Leave them now. Thank you. I'm sorry. I was a little bit late. Closing guesses. Go for it. And if you've already left your guess, no worries. No worries. No worries. Still applies. The biggest problem I have, the biggest problem I have is keeping up with the chat once the closing prices come in. So it's kind of good that we were late. Vern says, "Yash, what's your actual job? You said you were in between meetings in the Juju." Where was I that day? most of all my meetings are online, so that's good. This one, I think it was a client for Google Ads that I helped them with their marketing, and then I had a showing actually, believe it or not, as a realtor. I had a showing for a condo that day as well. So I was on the street. Didn't really have much to eat in the morning. I was on the street. That sounds bad, but you get it. Marketing is my background. Marketing is my background. Google Ads, marketing, real estate, that sort of stuff. Let's see here. Okay. Good guesses here, folks. Some QQ guessed 3,000 though. We're going to let that one slide. Remember, price is right rules. Sorry, didn't say so. Disclaimer here. Price is right rules. So if you guess even a cent over, you don't win. It's the closest person at or under the closing price. My guess is going to be, and I see a lot of guesses have come in, so I'm going to throw in my guess now. I'm going to say exactly volume weighted average price, 938.22. Okay, 938.22. I'm going to write that down. 938.22. I'm coming in the chat. There we go. Mr. Dressel says 400K buy side imbalance now. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate that. Man, so many games getting canceled in the NHL. Just so sad to see. Folks, look at that. Would you look at that? 936.50. Just as planned, of course. I'm gonna check if I don't have anything expiring. I recommend you guys do the same. Oh, there we go, folks. Folks, we are riding up. 937.70. Let's see if we can't get past VWAP here. 938.62. Folks, eat a slice, someone says. I already finished. I got 2 slices left and half of one. There we go. Window dressing is next week. I might have a window. Wow, 940. Folks. Eat some juju. Eat some citrus. There we go. Thank you for joining me on the Friday afternoon, wherever you're sitting at, or maybe Friday night. Maybe Friday morning if you're in Hawaii. Who knows? But thanks for joining, taking the time out. We're having a fun time. If you like watching Tesla, hit like, hit subscribe. You're watching, hit that bid. I have nothing expiring. You know what? I didn't mention this. I bought some Apple. March at the monies. Apple was down 5% yesterday. I just looked at it. 941.17. Folks, some buying is coming in, folks. Chris says, will next week be light trading? Yes, honestly, I will. That's my expectation. Guess we'll find out. Apple fruit or stock? Leaps. Trader, says Freddie. Oh, 937. Folks, we're seeing some volatility for quad witching here. We're in for a nice little treat. So, CNBC is titled Stocks Sink into Close. Let's see. Wow. Look at these candles. This is classic quadruple witching. Huge volatility to end the day. Now, it's going to be interesting. I mean, there's a non-zero chance that Elon sells the remainder of his shares on market on close today, perhaps. Again, non-zero. Don't know what the probability is, but he has certainly the liquidity to do it on a day, or his broker, I should say, has the liquidity to complete today. So we'll find out. Yes, 10.7 is coming out, right? 10.7 is coming out. Just says imbalances sell side 206K paired with buy side 4.8 million. Thank you. Mark with the $20 super chat. Juju, I appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks, my friend. Appreciate you guys. And if you haven't joined already, join the Juju Gang on Patreon. Thanks to all Patreon members, patrons, I guess, and YouTube channel members. You guys make this happen. Thank you. Senator, let's see here. Pin below 940 says Sanju. Let's see. There's a lot of, there are supplies up here, right? If we talk about supply, our supply on our EMAs on the 1 minute at least are sitting up to 945. I guess we'll find out here. But quite the volatility, folks. I'm gonna bring this up for dramatic effect here in the next. We got 4 minutes left into quadruple witching. You'll see CNBC has titled everything "Stocks Sink into Close." And I guess they're technically right. The Qs are down 40 basis points. S&P 500 is down about percent on the day. Dow Jones, which you guys know, I just do not like looking at the Dow Jones. I just think it's pretty dumb to look at a price-weighted index. But it's down 1.1% for the day for context. Yields are down too. Yields are down 1.4%. And VIX is up to $21.33 on the day.
Delivery of the all-electric GMC Hummer. And the significance here is
Bill.
twofold. One, they said they would have deliveries before the end of the year, so they met their deadline. And also, this is the first vehicle off of the Ultium battery platform, which is going to be the platform for all of its electric vehicles. And they've got a slew of them on the way. So they have two that were delivered this week. You've got the GMC Hummer first delivery, along with the Bright Drop vans, those going to FedEx. You've got the e-Silverado and the electric Sierra pickup trucks. Those are going to be unveiled next year, and then we have delivery starting in late 22, 23, 24, and then you've got 30 models globally by 2025.
30 models.
Remember,
Wow,
General Motors, as you take a look at the
lot.
stock over the last year, they're pumping $35 billion into EVs and AVs through 2025. So they are putting their money where their mouth is, so to speak, and this is the beginning. So now we'll see what happens here over the next couple of years, guys, as they roll out these models. Let's see how much demand is there.
$35 billion. Phil, that's a remarkable number. Thank you. Delano, what do you...
Yeah, enough. All right, here we go. 936.40 sitting on Tesla. Folks, the implied volatility has just gone down so much on these January calls. I bought 1250s bag holding now on those, mind you. Man, it's just they're worth $2.50 for January. Tesla hype, thank you for the super chat, my friend. Tip to the Juju jar. Keep it up. Happy holiday. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thanks, my friend. Man, those have been drained like no tomorrow. Drained like no tomorrow. Yeah, CNBC loving the GM Hummers. All right, 936.44 sitting on Tesla. 30 models, just a lot. That's like, simplicity is better at a certain point. 936.35 sitting on Tesla. Make sure that that our chat gets saved here. There we go. 930, folks, we're seeing some chop. Not even worth reading out the stock price changes so abruptly here. 935.60, let's say. Let's just call it here. We got 1 minute left until close here. The market on close. Let's see how fast or how big this candle will be on market on close. Might take a second to load up here. Oh, looks like we're dipping into close. My guess is not going to be amazingly accurate anymore. 933.11. Oh, we're really... Is this, maybe there's some selling here happening for someone on their 10b5-1 plan. I guess we'll find out. Interesting. 932.20 sitting on Tesla. We got a couple seconds left, about 20 seconds left until close here. Making sure everything's closed. There we go. I think some of you guys are going to be close on your guesses. When does the volume come in? Volume was already in. I mean, some of these 1 minute candles are 250K shares a pop. This one so far is close to that already. But it's going to be the last right on close order in 3 seconds. Let's see here. Let's see how big the closing cross was. Might take a second here to load up. So 931.15 on Tesla. 931.15 on Tesla, not 921. Who came close to that? Let me just do a control F. 930. Oh, sorry, 932. My bad. 932.57 was the actual closing. Someone want to verify that for me? I think that was the actual closing price. Michael Mobley was pretty close, 932.25. But I think Samir takes the cake on this one. Samir Patel, 932.50. You win some electronic virtual juju, my friend. You came close. You came within 7 cents. Nice work. There we go. I'm just going to check volume here to see what was volume there. So 16, let me just put 17 here. So we ended at volume on the day. Actually, I don't even have the daily pulled up here for some reason. Doesn't look like it was massive. Hey, Q4 quadruple witching? 5.4. Okay, there we go. You guys are saying 5.15 million volume in the last 5 minutes. Let's see here. Oh yeah. Yeah, decent, but nothing massive, hey? Nothing huge. Not as big as I expected. I mean, it was pretty big. Actually, no, here it is. Yeah, you guys are right. 5.4 million shares traded on that closing cross. So 5.4 is, you got to add in. Let's go to last quadruple witching for a hot second. Can we do that? No, I can't zoom into the dates anymore. I'd have to go back 3 months. I wonder how close that is to like let's say last quadruple witching hour. I'm trying to remember. Does anyone remember? I think was it like 5 or 6 million? So just about average. Nothing massively different there for us to look into then. Can we check Tesla flow to end the day? Sure. There you go. TradyTix is saying Tesla flow is essentially where we closed at. In fact, actually, Tesla stock price came down and pretty much met the options order flow. So there's that. Yeah, I should have based my stock price based on that, but this did dip in the last 1 minute. So there's that. 9:32.57 after hours, pretty much flirting where we are right there. Give me another Canadian A. Uh, the last quadruple witching were red, 9 red since December 19th, except one green. Technically, today we were green though, right? We're up 60 basis points. But yeah, good fact there. What's interesting is what's going to happen in the following couple weeks. And this is where my head is at. We have a couple weeks till New Year's. So, one thing to watch for is the amount of volume to be traded is probably going to go down a little bit as the holidays approach, as the Wall Street folk go on to their Hampton holiday retreats, except now not in their tank tops anymore like they did in the summer, but in their holiday gear and their khakis and their Subway footlongs. But volume's going to be lower. So that's one thing to keep a note of. But remember, window dressing. End of year window dressing happens in the next couple of weeks here. Window dressing, if you don't know, I have a couple of videos on window dressing on the channel. Hit my channel, search for it, you'll find them. Window dressing, though, institutions that don't own Tesla, and Tesla's outperformed in the quarter, but want to add Tesla into their books to show, to maybe, I don't want to say trick, maybe that's a dirty word, but, to show their investors that, hey, we had Tesla this whole time, kind of give off that impression. We'll probably be buying Tesla in the next couple of weeks here as we window dress since Tesla's outperformed. I think $778 is what Tesla was at October 1st. My memory serves correct. October the 1st, Tesla opened at $778. $778 is where Tesla opened at to begin the quarter. And as Tesla sits here at $932, that's quite the upside. And so adding funds will, in the next couple of weeks, that's why it's a big portion of why I think I'm a little bit more bullish than I would be to end the year in the next couple of weeks. Follow on to that, perhaps Berlin and Austin news coming up. Guess we'll find out. Let's see here. Appreciate that, William Wu. Thank you, my friend. Our Juju Gang member. Let's see here. Always a pleasure hanging out with the Juju crew. On to the next week. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate you, my friend. Only 50% likes. Come on, guys. Let's show some love. How many likes are we sitting at, folks? 380 likes. All right, let's try to get up to 500. 500 before I sign off, let's say. Oh, there we go. We're going back up here. Thanks for hitting like. Yeah, AMC. Hey, what happened with AMC? Did it go? What happened with AMC? Did it jump to the end of the day? Whenever these meme stocks start jumping, it's generally not great for the macro market. Yeah, okay, gotcha. So today it jumped. Oh wait, this is not AMC. What am I? I was like $150. I almost had a heart attack right there. Actually, the chart looks pretty similar. $29 for AMC up. What is it? 18% on the day. Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that AMC was up. AMC AA. Yeah, I mean, year-end production soon. 423 likes. We're about 80 likes away here from 500. Yes, year delivery numbers to come, but second or third of January is kind of the timeline for that. So not yet. Window dressing is the future near-term catalyst, in my opinion. Ferry says, time to put my Mattel Cybertruck Mega Block kit together. So doing this by surviving the week. Where's my? I don't know if this is Mattel, but I got the. Hold on, I got a delay here on my stream, so I can't even tell. I got the Model 3 red. I've been having some second thoughts. Okay, I think the best color for the Model 3 is not black anymore. I think it's red. It's not like I'm converted by this thing sitting on my desk. I don't see that many red Teslas out there. And whenever you do see a red Tesla, it's just I think it's peak. You guys know black is what we got. I wanted to get the, what is it called? The PPF, the wrapping, like to make it matte black. Avi is not down for that. She is not down for that. Unfortunately, I don't have the approval from her. Otherwise, I would have, maybe I should just do it. Ask for forgiveness. because the matte black to me is like A1, but I'm starting to have doubts. I'm starting to think the red. I'm starting to think the red. You guys are saying red with the white interior. Ooh, yeah. You guys are saying white's the no. John's saying the white's the best. My dad has the white. I guess I'm not clean enough to keep that. My opinion. Red is the fastest color. I love the dark blue. Thank you, Kenton. Appreciate that. Yeah, paint protection film. We should have gotten the day that we got the car, but you know how it is. Get lazy. Yeah, $2,000 extra for red. Yeah, I think we paid 1,200 more for the black. I don't regret it though. I don't regret it. Black is good too. I just wish it was matte. Black is impossible to keep clean. You know what? I didn't have a black car before the Model 3, and I would have thought you're lying, but you're totally right. It's way harder to keep a black car clean. It's yeah, especially because like when I park outside, I don't know what it is. Literally every bird wants to shit on the car. Every bird. It's like there's these birds scout for the car for my car. They find it. They find a power line, and they team up. It's like shit after shit after shit. Like there'll be like five birds in a row, and I'll see a sequential. Like it's like, okay, Robert, you're next. All right, Alfred, you're up. It's like they have a schedule down for how they're gonna poo on the car. Don't know how. I don't know what it is. It's a magnet. It's a magnet. Don't know. I don't know. They're bringing the good juju. Yeah, I guess you could say that that's good luck, right? In Chinese culture, getting crapped on is good luck by a bird. Sorry, should have said by a bird. Should have said by a bird. Oh my god. We're unhinged. Happy Friday, folks. It's been a good Friday. Okay, let's bring the good vibes. Good weekend coming up. If you guys have holiday plans, be safe. 58 more likes needed. Thank you, Victoria. How many likes are we at? Yeah, 57 more likes. If we can get to 500, and then I'll probably sign off. Towel and spray wax at all times. I need to up my game there, Steve. Absolutely. Yeah. Hey, the good thing with Vancouver is it rains all the time. That's all I'll say. If I lived in like a sunny climate like Florida or something, yeah, different story altogether. 100%. Let's see here. Elon is tweeting. Oh, great. Let's see here. What's Elon tweeting about? Let's see here. Let me pull up Chrome. What is Elon tweeting here, folks? Let's check this out. 40 more likes. If you haven't hit like yet, but you're enjoying the content, I would appreciate if you did. Let's see if we can hit 500. Elon is tweeting back at Jonah Kreider saying, why is Senator Warren buying ads on Facebook promoting yourself and bashing Elon? Here's the thing. All of this stuff, I hate politics, folks. I just hate it. Like, I hate politics. It's just so grimy. Trust me, I'm really interested in politics. I have been for years. What did Elon say to this? Let me see. It's so tiring at a certain point. It looks like Elon is coming back at the senator. Elon is tweeting about Starship. Didn't he tweet something about FSD? Let's see here. Let's see here. Did FSD video come out? Or FSD news came out at all? I don't know. Elon's memeing though. I guess we'll find out. The good news is we'll probably find out by today if he sold anything. And so we'll have an updated list for better or for worse, for zero or for non-zero to find out. Someone says we're hit 500 likes. Oh, we're 20 likes away, 23 likes away. Thank you, Saskatchewan. Yeah, I did see that, Mimi. I did. I'm not surprised. I just stay away from. I stay away from it all. Like the video for good juju. Thank you, Victoria. Appreciate that. Let's see here. Something cryptic. Yes. What was the closing cross volume? It was about 5.4 million shares traded. 10 likes away from 500. Who will be the 500th like? 500 likes. Like the video and you could win a good feeling for the rest of the day. Thank you, Victoria. You guys are awesome. Thanks so much for the Juju Gang community. I know I say this all the time. Definitely, like gratitude is at the highest level for me, especially during this time of year. Without you guys, without the community, this channel wouldn't exist. I'm glad that we can come in again, mind melt, as Tesla investors, as maybe Tesla watchers, as maybe Tesla product users to come in and to get a lay of the land and try to make sense of the crazy world that we're living in. Better or for worse. For some weeks we celebrate a lot. Some weeks, like this week's a little bit more tougher. But it's always nice to be part of the Juju Gang community, and we can be together. If we Kenton. There we go. 505 likes. Thank you, folks. Appreciate that. Thanks for bringing the good juju today. Have a great weekend. Like I say every Friday, put the phones away, put the screens away. Portfolio is not going to change over the weekend. Have a mental health break. Take some time with family, friends, yourself. Do whatever you need to be well in your life. Remember, at the end of the day, money is secondary, right? I mean, it's not a hot take, but at the end of the day, what we're doing here is to have good times, have good memories, and hopefully that's what we're building here. So as we end the week, hopefully next week brings us a lot more positivity and bullishness, and maybe, hopefully, cross my fingers, maybe some Gigafactory news as well. So have an amazing weekend, folks. I'll catch you next week. Keep an eye on the channel for a weekend video that I will be recording shortly. And if you have any video requests, as usual, let me know in the comments. Let me know DM, Discord, whatever it might be. Join the Juju Gang community as well if you want. Patreon link is pinned up there. And any level of Patreon membership, I'm not sure how many levels are left at the $5 level, but check it out if you want to. Join us in Discord. Good Juju only in there. And let's bring some positivity back into, hopefully, Tesla next week. Take care, guys. Thanks to all the mods as well. Shout out to all you guys, Marco, Sanju, everyone tuning in. All the mods having to do everything. Gonzalo, thank you. Appreciate it. And we'll catch you in the next one. Peace, guys. Take care. Hit subscribe on your way out if you haven't.